I used to say when I was doing speaker training, audiences are dumb. They're not dumb. They're distracted. They're doing other things, right?
You found the Live Local Marketing Podcast, where business owners share their knowledge about what's working in the market today. All right, welcome. Thanks for joining us for the Live Local Marketing Podcast. We are with Mr. Carl. Sir, how are we feeling today?
I'm good, Billy. Thanks for having me here. I'm stoked. I'm excited.
We're good. I love it. The podcast master. I am looking forward to learning so much stuff from this conversation. We're going to do a little bit of background on your hair and then just hop right into the questions and start picking that giant brain of yours. So For the last 25 plus years, Carl was in broadcasting and the host of Communication, Connection, and Community, the Podcaster's Podcast. He helped consultants go from best kept secret to go-to authority. And his proven podcast strategy, it's not about chasing vanity metrics or cranking out noise. It's about creating a powerful platform that commands attention and builds credibility to bring you premium clients. This is going to be great. I love this. Sir, are you ready for the questions?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Talk to us about the first win you had.
Ooh, are we talking ever or in business? I'm trying to remember.
I like to do business. I do like business, but I mean, if you want to take it that route too, because some people do go back to that and that moment in their life perpetuated other wins. So it's really up to you. I'm going to leave it open-ended.
Yeah, well, I'd say the first win career-wise was actually landing my first radio gig. I mean, I don't know what
nice
the audience knows about radio, but for every person that makes it in radio, there's probably 1,000 saying, "Would you like fries with that?" So I actually was working in radio for 25 years. Nice. Woohoo! But it took me 3 years to get that first gig, though. But I'd say the first win in business would be I ran a part-time business as a speaker trainer before. Before I started in the podcasting space and really going full tilt with that. So while I was working in radio, I was also doing speaker training, wanting to take it full time, but not quite comfortable doing it. Anyways, the first win was stepping out on, at the time, what would have been my biggest stage. And it was in front of 150 people at a 600 person event. It was a massive, I guess you'd call it like a business expo or meetup and mastermind, kind of like it was a whole day of this. So that was my first win. Like there were some little wins along the line, but my first big one was getting on that stage and realizing that, hey, the stakes are high. So excited to do that, and made a lot of mistakes.
It happens
as we always do, but that was the first big one for sure.
Which radio station were you on? And were you like a voice, like a DJ, or what were you behind?
Yeah, I was on air. Which radio station wasn't I on? I was on CJRL, Eastern Ontario, in Northwestern Ontario, Kenora. CFOB, also in Northwestern Ontario. Then country, I can't remember the stations, but I was in 2 country stations, 3 country stations, and hot adult contemporary stations. I was on about 8 radio stations in my radio career. Yeah. Literally town to town, up and down the dial, like WKRP.
Nice. So your knowledge of these music must have been pretty vast. I mean, if you're going from country to adult, like that's a lot of different styles of music to have.
I have so many musical rocks in my head that people say, "Who sings this?" I'm like, I don't remember.
You should know, but you don't know.
I just forget, right?
So when you start when you talk to people about podcasting, the idea of podcasting and getting yourself started, a lot of people are intimidated by the idea that they have to have a big old setup and it's going to be really expensive. Let's talk about what the bare bones, the MVP of starting up a podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. The most important thing, even in 2026 at the recording of this, and and honestly, with all the video presence, still the most important thing is how are you sounding? So invest in a good microphone, something that's $100, $120, $150. Like I'm using a Yeti, which runs anywhere from $100 to $150, depending on, where you are in the world. I think on, where you're located, Bill, I think they're about $120 regular. Yeah. It's going to give you a nice, rich, crisp sound. And that's what you want. You want that deep, rich, crisp sound. You can get cheaper ones, but I say the industry standard for starting out would be the Yeti. If you can get yourself a good microphone, get one of those. Decent webcam. Don't rely on the webcam that's attached to your laptop. Get one that is external. So You're not looking up like this. You don't have to tilt that, like, because you rely on tilting the lid of your laptop, right, to get the right angle. So definitely, I would say do that. And if it's external, it means you can move it around a little bit. If you do have the budget and you want to do some really serious video work, a decent DSLR, basic one will run you about $400, $500. Get one of those because it's going to give you really, really good quality. But again, a really good webcam, one of those is still going to run you about a couple $100 too. So decent microphone. Don't rely on your laptop webcam. Get an external one that clips to the top of your computer monitor or your laptop, and spend about $100-$150. That's going to get you in a really good spot for sure. Quiet place to record too.
Yeah, so it's a nice little spot. So is that, where do you see the most of your clients coming from? Are they like beginners? Are they moderates? Or are they seasoned vets ready to take it to the next level? Where do you see the most of your people coming from?
Yeah, a lot of them. It's funny you ask that, because a lot of them are professionals in what they do, but many of them haven't been on camera other than Zoom calls or sales calls or whatever. And most of them haven't been on microphone, being on a microphone unless they've been on stage. And even if they have been on stage, there's a difference between being on a physical stage and being on a virtual stage, like a podcast. So, but most of them are in that they've done something and probably been really good at it in their business or in their career. But when it comes to the actual podcasting piece, it's a new skill for them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a wheelhouse of people that are very coachable. They know how to succeed. They know how to work hard. That seems to be your wheelhouse. Okay. So we're going to talk about not the elephant in the room, but it's getting a bad rap in the front of this podcasting space because people are just abusing it. So what are some of the things you're doing with AI, and what things should we not be doing with AI for podcasting? A quick break before we get to that next answer, because I know that answer is going to be brilliant, which is why I chose this moment to interrupt. If you love what you're seeing and you want to run your business off of warm marketing referrals, visit our website, livelocalwarmmarketing.com. It's got valuable resources, office hours, memberships, the book, an array of resources to help you get rid of cold calls, cold leads, door knocking, and run a business you can be proud of through referrals and warm marketing. Now, back to the show.
Number one thing you shouldn't be doing is relying on it totally to do everything, which some people are creating AI generated podcasts, and they sound as bad as the AI generated photos and the AI generated social media posts you see out there, right? So I caution people against saying, I'm going to take an AI version of myself and that's going to be the host, or I want AI guests. It just really doesn't. Sounds like I'm on a soapbox about this, but it really, in this world we're in today, we want real, we want authentic. People have always, since time immemorial, wanted to do business with people, not AI or bots or, answering machines. Think of how many times have you picked up a phone and tried to call someone and you get the automated assistant, right? You just want to talk to a human. Yeah. So think about that. So in the podcasting space, definitely show up as yourself. Definitely will say that. Tools that are working well. There are some for those who are bootstrapping their show, meaning they, tight budgets, and they really feel the value in it. And they'd love to bring on a guy like me, but they just don't have the budget or the resources to do that right now. There are some great tools out there for editing. I caution against relying on it heavily. Just hitting a, hey, release, remove all my ums and ahs, click, because it might not do what you want it to do. So if you are using a tool like that, make sure you go back and listen to it and make sure it sounds like a natural flowing conversation. Where possible, you can also use it to leverage social posts, your show notes. Those are great resources too. But again, keep in mind, AI will only do what you tell it to do. And if you don't teach it how to be in your voice, it won't be, and it'll look and sound like AI. So make sure that if you are using it for things like show notes and titling and even the transcript is a transcript, but if you're using it for that, just check it. Big thing is to check it and make sure that it is a good resemblance of you and not the AI version of you.
Okay. That's all that's kind of where I knew you were going to talk. I knew you were going to say those things, but it's great for my audience to hear it from you rather than hearing it from me. So
I get pretty passionate about it too. So
I know. I really we could probably do the entire episode on AI podcasting.
Just on AI. Yep.
Could
good and bad. Yep.
Part of what you do though is going to be bringing audience, which is why it's so important for me, the human element of it. So what, as far as cold lead generation and warm lead generation, do podcasts, harness?
I'm going to say warm.
Okay.
I'm going to say
Mostly
warm.
warm.
I'll say almost warm, almost 100%, because you've created a relationship with
Okay.
your listener. Even if you don't know who they are and they don't know who you are, the more they listen, the more they tune into you, the more they feel like they know you. I attune it to actually being in radio. Like some of the people who would show up whenever I was on location, they'd say, I listen to the radio, listen to you on the radio every
I feel you.
day. And I'm like, I don't know who you are from Adam, but they knew who I was. So same thing. If you have people who are engaging your episodes, whether they're audio or visual, it doesn't matter, but on a regular basis, they're tuning into you. They're developing a relationship with you.
Yeah.
You are putting forth that know, like, and trust factor. At least I'm hoping you are, if you're using your show for business, to get people to follow you, to come into your lead magnets, check out your stuff, not just be a listener to your show or a viewer, but also follow you, jump into some of the programs and services that you offer. But that's why I say it's warm, because it's creating that relationship before it even happens.
Yeah.
It's almost like an arranged marriage, but not an arrangement. You know what I mean? Like because you know the person well enough, or you feel like you do because of the time that they've spent engaging with you. I quite often will get reach outs from people who have either heard the show or they've met somebody. I guess I'll call it a referral through somebody else who knows, likes, and trusts me. So it's just as warm. I would say almost just as warm as that.
And talk to us about that missing element. So people do it for sales, to meet people that way, but the B2B, where businesses can make referral partners with one another, that is often a missed opportunity. Am I right with this?
Oh, big time. It's a huge missed opportunity, especially with host and co-host. I find that all the time, that the host and the co-host will have a great conversation. Billy, it's been great having you on the show. Or, hey, Carl, thanks for joining me on the show today. And that's it. It ends there. You post the show. You say, hey, Billy, the show's live. And that's it. There's a huge opportunity to work together, refer business or leads, or even just share ideas back and forth. That's missed when it's just transactional.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to do a better job of that too. I'm gonna drink the Carl Kool-Aid, because I definitely need to be doing better at that. Yeah. Taking Carl's prescription. I need to do better with that.
It's a good pill. So it's a good pill to swallow. It's okay.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a missed opportunity. I knew it was too. So, all right. So in the beginning, we talked a little bit about the equipment and so forth, and you talked about the video camera. It's more than podcasts. How are you using video marketing in the podcast? Because you tend to think podcasts are only audio. How are you using video?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be brutally honest. I'm not. I'm a diehard audio guy, but even still, I will share this. I'll use a tool called an audiogram, and an audiogram is still a video, because when you work through it, it's an MP4. So, and what makes it a video is the sound wave moves. I know that sounds like a poor excuse to have a video, but it's true. That's what makes it a video. Still, that is the simplest way that you can do it. And that's a promotional tool that you can use on any platform. It doesn't look great on certain social media platforms, but you know what? It works. At least you can do that. I'm seeing a lot of reels. I'm seeing a lot of shorts and clips, and those are great too. My caution with reels and clips is, again, relying on the AI tool to either source out the clip or create it for you. You definitely want, and this is where we come in, not to toot my own horn, but we come in really good here, because we can find the right clip, and we can also massage it enough so you don't see, up somebody's nose hairs, and, you don't see it, you don't see the text going across somebody's mouth or their face. So you don't see that engagement piece. So, but I've seen so many reels that look like that, or the text goes too fast because they haven't adjusted the speed on it. So many different things that are deterrents from it, but do something. Just make sure whatever you're doing, err on the side of caution. And also recognize too, that when it comes to the actual episode, the actual piece that you're putting out there, the long form content, most people are still engaging with the audio As a matter of fact, 60% of people who tap into that big behemoth of a directory called YouTube, they're not watching the podcast, they're listening to it. So
Yes,
that's
right.
why audio still reigns supreme. Even in a video driven world, the audio still needs to be the most important piece.
Side question, because I was thinking about it while you were talking. How many how often do you guest per month? What's your goal?
Oh my goodness. When I started out, I didn't guest at all.
At all?
It was a faux pas. I was like, why am I not guesting on shows? I should be. And then I found a service that allowed me to be a guest on podcasts. It's Podmatch.
Yeah, it's Podmatch.
Alex Sanfilippo, you owe me yet another royalty. But seriously, I'm usually on a podcast 2 to 3 times a month.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I always suggest if you're going to leverage guesting, do it at least twice a month. And again, keep in mind, I have a show. I post it twice a week. I have an agency. I work with clients on a regular basis in the space. So it's a busy time, but I still will leverage to do 2 to 3 guesting appearances a month because I know the integrity of it and the value of getting into somebody else's network and getting into in front of their audience. So yeah, I will do it 2 to 3 times a month for sure.
The next question, I'm going to shift the way I'm going to ask it based on the answer. So what are some of, you've been guest spots in 2 to 3 shows. What are some of the biggest like branding host mistakes you're seeing that you just like cringe when you're on the show that you see them doing?
How much time do we have?
Yeah.
How much time do I get? How long is this show? We're into hour 4. It's like a telethon. So the biggest thing on there's the biggest one is okay. I'll say the biggest 2. Biggest one though is no call to action. There's either no call to action or a very soft, wimpy throwaway call to action. And what I mean by that is, hey, Billy, it's been great being on your show. Yeah, if you need more information, just go to my website or, send me an email, follow me on all the socials. I'm on all the socials. Who does that? No one does that. There's a missed opportunity there. If you're showing up as the expert, there's a missed opportunity there for you to say, hey, what we've talked about today, I have this checklist, I have this assessment, I have this scorecard, this tool, this thing that, hey, I want to share it with you because if you're not sure where you're at, here, it does 2 things. Number 1, it's an action item. It gets people engaged. And number 2, it gets them on your email list, ideally. All right. So there's that. And I would say the second piece is probably from a hosting perspective, giving the guest 90 to 95% of the runway. Hey, my guest today is Billy Salmons. Billy is great. He's wonderful. He's done all these great things. Welcome to the show, Billy Carl. Billy. Okay, Billy, thanks for being my guest today. We'll see you next week. And I have said nothing about my expertise, my credibility. And for the record, when you were on my show, I always record the intro in post. So I take that opportunity. If there's anything I need to say about something that I'm doing, a product that I'm offering, a new service, or whatever it is, I'll do that before I introduce the guest. And then there's usually something at the end as well. But if you're not seating as the expert, you're never going to get, I'm sorry, you're not going to have people coming into your pipeline. And it's not just about the pipeline. So much of it is about exposing yourself or proving that you're the expert in this area. But you have to give the audience, again, I'm on my soapbox here, but you have to give the audience very specific instructions. Yeah. Because audiences, I used to say when I was doing speaker training, audiences are dumb. They're not dumb. They're distracted. They're doing other things, right? So you have to keep that in mind that they're focused on other things. You have to tell them what to do with the information that you've just shared with them. Go to my website. Click on the link in the show notes to get your ticket for my next meetup or whatever it is. You need to give them those directions. That's what you need to do.
That's really awesome. That's what I wanted to hear. That's good.
Okay, good.
We can wrap the show up. We're all set now. We're all good to go. We learned all the things we needed to know. No, I'm sure you have at least a list of like 5 to 10 more that when people sit down with you, once a client decides they want to go work with you, that you can go over the other ones too. But those are the 2 that I agree. I see it all the time, and it's really good ones.
100%.
All right. Last question before we get to your business and where people can get a hold of you so they can pick your brain a little bit more in depth is data. What do you consider to be useful data in the podcasting world?
Oh my goodness. The podcast itself, the show.
Okay.
But what's interesting though, too, is I didn't realize how important firstly show notes, and there are a lot of shows out there that don't do much with their show notes. Really useful piece of data, right? It really is, because it's where you can connect people. People can click on other episodes if you've given them a reason to, if you've given your listener homework. That's the cool part. Give them homework. They will do it. They will, if you've trained your audience, right? They will do it. Give them homework, direct them to your show notes. They will do it. But the other piece is, and I didn't realize how critical this was your transcript. And a lot of people think transcriptions are just for AI purposes. Sorry, not AI, SEO purposes.
SEOs. That's what.
Right. And it is, right? It is to a certain degree. Transcript, great for SEO. I have met people who will listen to a show, be so invigorated by it, they'll go look for the transcript. And they will take nuggets and snippets out of it to either share, and quotable, obviously. So if I said, you know what, I was listening to Billy Salmons on the Live Local Warm Marketing Show. Live Local Warm Marketing Show live. Billy said this. He said this magical thing, this little nugget of this juicy piece of information. People are pulling that from the transcript. So the transcript becomes a really integral piece of data that, and I never used to think this way. I used to think, transcript, who needs it? Just listen to the damn show, right? But no, it's a very useful tool. And you'd be surprised how many people, especially the ones who are very driven by visual, like they having to read things. There are people who will read that transcript.
So you're not going through all these episodes and writing all the transcript notes. Your AI pulling these, like what? Because who's got the time to listen to every episode and take all the notes and stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, yeah, you would put your transcript, you put your episode through a tool and have it carve out
do it for it.
The script or the transcript of the show. Check it, of course, for spelling, syntax, country, because it's amazing. You know, I live in Canada, you're in the US, and there are words that we both say, like flavor, neighbor. Those are two that come to mind. And they're spelled differently. You know, as a Canadian, I should be spelling it with a U because we're weird that way. And you don't spell it with a U, but that is, those little pieces speak volumes, right? But then also double check names. Names is a big one. Capitalization of cities and towns, all those things that become very important. So definitely, and capitalization of business names too. So yeah,
that's a good one. We probably could go on this for hours. Like I love picking your brain and all the different ideas and all the different things you have going on with podcasts. Like I only think of like surface level stuff, and then I have a conversation with somebody like Carl who's got all these like, oh, you could do this and you got this and you can pull these, and I'm like, I am not even using my podcast the best I could, for sure. So if you're like me and you want to start picking his brain more, you have an idea for a podcast, or your podcast like mine is like, startup mode, and you're ready for it to be the next level, Carl's your guy. So Carl, where can people get a hold of you? Where can they follow you? Where can they get more information?
Yeah, absolutely. For a lot of the things that we've talked about, if you're thinking, I'd like to find out more, or you're ready to even take the first step and because I believe the first step is always information followed by education. So if you're ready to take that step, podcastsolutionsmadesimple.com, just click on the link and let's have a conversation, because in that 20 to 30 minutes, we can talk about a lot, about what you're thinking about, where you want to take your podcast or your guesting experience, maybe what's holding you back. Maybe it's the tech side, maybe it's something else, but whatever it is, we'll talk about that and then figure out what the best way is to move forward. What's the plan we can set in motion for you? So it's all at podcastsolutionsmadesimple.com.
All right, awesome. Now, thank you very much. Now my hamster wheel is going, and I've got all these different ideas and all these different things I can start doing with the podcast. So you've ruined the rest of my day, which I appreciate, actually. Because otherwise I'd be sitting around doing nothing. Now I've got all these cool ideas and all these different things we can do. So folks, be on the lookout. We're going to do some fun stuff with the podcast. We appreciate your help and your time today. Please reach out and follow some of his good stuff. Make sure you listen to the show because I was on it. I don't think I'm going to be featured though for a while. I think we're a September or so release date, but
something like
I'm
that.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah, somewhere. So it'll be out. It'll be fun. It'll be an awesome episode. So be sure you follow his podcast. Make sure you follow him. And if you have any ideas or things you want to run by him, be sure you check him out. So, Carl, we thank you for your time and your knowledge today.
Thank you, Billy. This was fun.
And if authentic, practical marketing resonates with you, be sure to visit livelocalwarmmarketing.com and learn to grow your business on warm marketing referrals.